Hello, welcome back. I'm Tanya from Tanya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you doing today? It's a gorgeous Monday here where I'm at. I wasn't going to talk about political stuff, but I decided, there's some interesting things going on. The bad thing is these political sides shouldn't be ripping people apart. Have you seen problems in your family, with your friends, because of the political side you're on? I have seen a friendship that started in first grade, and they're both well over 40, that has ended because of politics. So sad. We are voting on a measure. We're voting on a few measures, but the biggest one that actually hit national news was that North Dakota is voting on a no property tax measure. This is like a quarter. There's two very solid sides to this issue. I'm not going to tell you which way I'm voting, and I'm not going to tell you what way to vote if you're from North Dakota. But it's one of those that's a very tough decision. I think it would be easier for people to vote if they knew what was going to happen, per se. Like, it'd be easier to vote yes, get rid of property tax, if we knew they weren't going to raise taxes on food, for example, like Croatia, to 25%, and clothing, 25% tax on clothing, and cigarettes and alcohol, I don't know what they pay. It's higher than that. I feel it's totally wrong to make people that are retired pay taxes when the taxes keep going up. Here's my problem with this whole thing. They want to this is the second time I think we're voting on the property tax bill. Yes, I think. But anyway, if the state feels that we can do this and we can have a no property tax and still provide for our education system, our police officers, our fire departments, and all this stuff, why don't they just cut taxes in half? Why do we have to go, why is it one end of the spectrum or the other? Why can't we just cut them in half and see where we're at and go from there? Because all they've been doing the last 4 or 5 years is raise taxes every single year for property taxes. Yeah. But there is a lot. They're going to lose a huge amount of funding for the big businesses that pay taxes. And also the farmland, that's a big thing too. If you don't have tax on property, what a great way to invest. You can invest and leave it sit there and do nothing with it, and we lose a lot of farmland that way. Yeah. It's a sticky situation we're in, and yeah, I feel they haven't handled it very well. But what they put into the measure. And we have the presidential decision. Holy. Yeah, not even going into that one. Here's what I'm going to tell you. We have two things. We have Democrats and Republicans, right? But they're no longer here. They're like here. They're not working together. They're here. And then you have a Republican change into a Democrat and a Democrat change into a Republican. It's almost like going to the doctor and being like, this week you have diabetes. A month from now, oh, sorry, you have high blood pressure. Seriously, why don't we just have one platform? But I understand why there's not one platform and there's two. But here's a little tip when you decide who to vote for, okay? Number one, it doesn't matter what your neighbor votes for or what the person down the street's gonna vote for or your favorite celebrity. It doesn't matter. You have to vote for you, okay? You can't take, you can listen to all the information, but in the end, it's your vote, and you have to decide. And all of Europe is watching us. They don't get to vote, but they are all on pins and needles waiting for this election to happen, because how we vote actually affects them. I don't get it. It's true. They're sitting on pins and needles because it affects their country, and they don't even get to vote. I don't understand it. I think it's crap. But here's what you gotta do. You gotta be true to you. You gotta vote with your heart. You don't vote for who you like, because some of sometimes somebody says something and you take it wrong, okay? You don't like how they act or how they say this or how they approach this. That's not it. You need to vote with your heart. You need to vote for the person that you think, which platform you will support, okay? But you need to make sure you vote so at the end of the day you can be like, I made the best decision that I feel our country needs. But you gotta vote with your heart. I'm not gonna tell you who to vote for. Like I said, you just gotta vote with your heart. You know, maybe say some prayers before you go vote if you pray. If you don't pray, say some prayers before you go vote anyway, because, you know, for help, for divine intervention, because we really seriously need God back in our country, and we need all the help we can get. Yep. We are doing lip balm, itty bitty batches of lip balm. Just one batch. Because I know I've been throwing a lot of body products at you and different things, but that's because the Christmas soaps are coming up, and I don't want you to be so burnt out on soap that you're just like, oh, this sucks. Yeah, so it's a strategy. But anyway, 3 things. Dream big. Be true to you. You are worth it. And let's go check out this video on itty bitty lip balm batches. Okay, into our itty bitty batch of lip balm. Like I said, the recipe is at the end of the video. So the first ingredient is beeswax. I have yellow beeswax and I have white beeswax. The only difference is the white is refined a little more than the yellow. And so how do I decide to use them? Well, if I wanted this to be a baby pink, I wouldn't be using yellow. But being it's butterscotch, I'm going to use that in my color scheme. See what I'm saying? If it doesn't matter if it's chocolate colored or something like that, then it doesn't matter. Then I don't care what color I use. So it's all personal preference. I do like my yellow just because it isn't as refined, filtered, whatever the word is I use. So the second ingredient in this one is mango seed butter. I love cocoa butter and I love shea butter. I just decided the cocoa butter will give it, you know, mine is not deodorized. It's all raw. And it will change the flavor. So when I use cocoa butter, it has something to do with the flavor properties of it. Scent is probably what I'm getting there. Yeah. Shea is raw, and that's another thing too. And I just decided the mango butter is pretty much, it doesn't have a really odd scent or anything. It's white, you know. So I was totally going like, we're doing mango butter in here. Absolutely. The next ingredient is coconut oil. And it is organic coconut oil. And so it does have a coconut scent. Is this going to be a problem? No, because there's not, in the overall scheme of things, it's not a lot of coconut. And my daughter doesn't notice it, so believe me, if she doesn't notice the coconut oil in there, you're not going to either, because she hates coconut oil. She hates the scent of it. What do you do, right? The next ingredient is apricot kernel oil. I love this oil. It's a good moisturizing, yet dry oil. It's not going to, it's going to absorb quickly. So will the mango butter, you know. And the coconut, I don't know. I love coconut oil. But apricot seed oil, you can also use sunflower, sesame, any light oil in there is a good fix. And this is castor oil. Now, castor's going to give it a little bit of a gloss. It's so funny because I get 3 drops and it equals like the 1 gram or, you know. But anyway, that's where I start. And then I melt it down. It's at 157, but I actually did heat it a little higher just to around the like 170 mark, kind of like, you know, get your oils nice and hot, and, you know, so that they, kind of like candles, you know, you add the color and the fragrance. Oh, so this, see that is from one of my Christmas soaps. That was a melt and pour, and I was trying going for that color a little bit with my the lip balm. You'll see if I got there or not, but but I like them a little higher. I like them around that 170 degree, so they you know, hold that, the fragrance oil. Does that make sense? You know, incorporate it. It's like just like candles, you know, you want them up higher so you can, you know, really work that fragrance oil in there. Okay. Oh, and the other thing about mica is make sure it's lip safe. Like literally, if they don't tell you what it's safe for, don't buy it. They should tell you if it's good for bath bombs, if it's good for eyes, if it's lip safe, if it's just skin safe. A lot of your neons are just skin safe, meaning you can use them in soap, but that's probably it. Okay, that type of thing. And so I put 2 milliliters of butterscotch flavor oil. So not fragrance oil, we use flavor oils. Those are all lip safe. You should make sure they're lip safe. I don't know, I haven't found one that didn't say lip safe because it's a flavor oil, but also phthalate free. Do they still make them? I don't know if there's, I mean, I guess, you know, some, they could be where they're still not phthalate free. And I would just make sure that you choose that option. But these are my little tubes. I got new ones. I just got new ones, so you'll see a couple of the new ones. And because I was looking for the BPA free safe, or BPA safe. I always look for that. The BPA, is that what it is? Where it's not petroleum in the plastic. And I was looking for USA made ones. I've been trying to do a lot of that in my products. Trying to find USA made. I mean, I'm probably not going to find shea butter from the US, but, you know, that's because some things don't grow here that I know of. But anyways, these little tubes are from USA made. And yeah, I do have a thing, you know, the little thing that you stick all your tubes in. Well, the last tubes were a little too big. I do have a silicone one I could use. If I was doing 50 of these, yeah, I'd definitely use that. I would definitely use that. But being I'm not, I have a pretty overall steady hand. So one out of, you already saw that. It was the second one I poured. He went over the top. I always pour one over the top. It's like mashed potatoes. You got to boil them over before, you know, they're done. It's my grandma. I said you have to boil them over once. But yeah, interesting enough, the USA ones said they hold 0.15 ounces. My other ones hold 0.18. But when I weighed them, I got a full 0.18 ounces in them. So I was pretty happy about that. And then because I am not a perfect pourer and I don't have this on the little thing where you slide the top off, I just round them out. Those 2 in the back I'm not going to do. That, I mean, I could, but they're pretty perfect. They weighed the perfect amount, so I wasn't worried about them at all. But these other ones, you know, they were a little wonky, and so I just kind of fix them up as best as I can. I'm not going to leave them like that, you guys. You just kind of, you know, I had just a little bit left. Like this filled literally 6 tubes perfectly, with just a smidge left for me to try. And then I take my heat gun and don't put it really close. You will, you know, melt all your goody goodness down the tube and have a bigger mess. To clean up that one, I just take my spatula and run it up the sides, and then I wipe it down really good before I label it. But see, we're just going to do them one at a time, because in between then it lets them kind of set up a little bit, and I'm not heating them constantly, you know. Does that make sense? They just seem to work. It seems to work better if I just do them one at a time. But here are my labels that are going to go on this. Figured I'd show them. Yeah, paper labels. That's all the thing. And then packaging tape over the top, and then I just run it around. Voila. Isn't he cute? That's one of the new ones. So the covers are clear on the new ones, and the old ones they weren't. So this is a little shrink wrap container so that it's, nobody snoops in your lip balm before you buy it. It's a safety feature. I love these because Wholesale Supplies Plus sells them, but you basically have to pop the top off, which sucks. They're not that handy. These, they run the strip down the side, so it's a side tear, Love these. It's great for that, because at least it's not, you're not struggling to open it, and get out your pocket knife. But yeah, aren't they cute? They turned out great. Here's a recipe if you want to copy it. Make sure your flavor oil, check your usage rate and make sure it's correct, because mine was a high usage rate. So, and here they are, my Butterscotch Lip Balms with their new labels. And as always, I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.